Hi, and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to talk about the first key insight, global poultry and livestock production. So in this map, you can see the number of cattle in the year 2018. So countries like the United States, Brazil, and India tend to have a very high population of cattle. Moving on, let's look at the beef production in 2018. So United States is leading with 12.22 million metric tons in 2018 in terms of beef production. We have China with 6.46 million tons, and also we have Brazil with 9.9 million tons. Next, we'll look at cattle meat per animal in 2018. So this is a good indicator of their productive output. So if you look at the United States, it's around 362.6 kilograms per animal in 2018. Brazil, we have around 250 kilograms per animal. If you take India, it's around 103 kilograms per animal. And countries like Australia account to around 280.4 kilograms per animal. Next, we move on to number of poultry birds in 2018. Here we see China leading with 6.38 billion birds in 2018. Then we have United States with 2.23 billion. Brazil we have 1.51 billion, and then there's Iran with 1.08 billion birds. So if you analyze this graph, we have seen a considerable growth from 1961 to 2018. The world production of poultry from 8.95 million tons in 1961 to 127.31 million metric tons in 2018. And talking a bit about poultry meat per animal in 2018, we have Argentina with 2.93 kilograms per animal. We have United States with 2.37 kilograms per animal. We have China with 1.5 kilograms per animal, and Australia with 1.9 kilograms, and Russia we have 1.76, and we have countries like Spain with 2.13 kilograms per animal. Moving on, let's talk about the number of pigs in 2018. So if you look at this map, China, there's 447.18 million pigs in 2018, and we have United States with 74.55 million pigs. We have Brazil with 41.44 million pigs, and we have Russia with 23.08 million pigs, and countries like Spain, they have around 30.8 million pigs in 2018. Moving on, let's talk about pig meat production in 2018. So if you look at this map, we have China with 54.98 million metric tons of pig meat production. We have Russia with 3.74 million tons. Then we have United States with 11.94 million tons. We have Brazil with 3.79 tons. And countries like Spain, which have around 4.53 million tons of pig meat production in 2018. Now let's look at pig meat per animal in 2018. So pig meat yields measured in kilograms produced per animal. So we have United States with 95.9 kilograms per animal. Then you have countries like China with 79.2 kilograms per animal. Russia, we have around 89.7 kilograms per animal. Next, we have Spain with around 86.6 kilograms per animal. And countries like Brazil, they have around 88.8 kilograms per animal. And countries like Argentina, they have around 91.5 kilograms per animal of pig meat per animal in 2018. Next, let's look at milk production. So if you take milk production in the year 2018, India leads with 187.96 million tons of milk. Then we have United States with 98.72 million tons. We have countries like Russia with 30.61 million tons. Then there's countries like Brazil with 34.11 million tons and countries like Argentina with 10.53 million tons. Australia produces around 9.29 million tons and New Zealand around 21.39 million tons of milk in 2018. Next, let's look at milk production per animal in 2018. United States with around 10,189 kilograms per animal in 2018. We have Canada with 7,358 kilograms per animal. Then we have Argentina with 6,595.9 kilograms per animal. Australia around 6,006.3 kilograms per animal. New Zealand around 4,269.6 kilograms per animal. And China 643.5 kilograms per animal in 2018. Next, let's look at egg production. So according to statistics, we have 31.68 million tons of eggs produced in China in 2018. Then there's India with 5.24 million tons, Russia with 2.52 million tons, and then there's United States with 6.47 million tons, Brazil with 2.64 million tons. Next, let's look at eggs per bird in 2018. So we have Russia with 15.63 kilograms per bird. We have India with 16.61 kilograms per bird. We have Australia with 16.05 kilograms per bird. New Zealand with 16.26 kilograms per bird. Then there's countries like Argentina with 18.76 kilograms per bird, United States with 16.52 kilograms, and Canada with 17.49 kilograms per bird in 2018. Next, let's look at this graph of the number of animals slaughtered for meat in the world from 1961 to 2018. So if you go all the way back to 1961, the total amount of chicken which was slaughtered, it was around 6.58 billion. And if you take pigs, it was around 376.37 million. Sheep was around 330.9 million. Cattle around 172.96 million. Turkey was around 141.62 million. Goats was around 102.92 million. And if you go all the way to 2018, chicken has exponentially increased to 68.79 billion. Pigs has also slightly increased to 1.48 billion, and turkey around 656.31 million, sheep around 573.81 million, goats around 479.14 million, and cattle around 302.15 million. So there's not a significant growth in terms of pigs, turkey, sheep, goats, and cattle, while there's an exponential growth of the consumption or the number of animals slaughtered, especially in terms of chickens. So if you look at this graph, you can see that the Asian meat production has exponentially increased, while Europe has just managed to double its capacity or meat production levels from 1961 to 2018. And also North America has slightly improved and South America as well. Next, if you look at this graph of meat production by livestock type, there's a serious growth in terms of poultry. Because if you take the year 1961, the poultry production was around 8.95 million tons. And if you take 2018, it was around 127.31 million tons. And also pig meat has also significantly increased from 1961, which was around 24.75 million tons, to 2018, which was around 120.88 million tons. Next, we'll look at this map of meat supply per person in 2017. So if you look at countries like United States, it's around 124.1 kilograms per year in 2017. If you take Australia, it's around 121.6. If you take countries like China, it stands around 60.59 kilograms per year, while countries like Spain consume around 100.25 kilograms of meat per person per year, and countries like Brazil, they consume around 99.83 kilograms per year. Argentina stands around 109.38 kilograms of meat per person per year. Well, those are a few key statistics as far as the global poultry and livestock production is concerned. I'll see you on another lecture.